Hey everyone. Okay, last video. We are gonna do a look at a sort function, and then a search by function. Let's just jump right in. The sort is in the index page of recipes, and I'm gonna go ahead and create a button for it now. It looks like maybe I'll just grab the button. I'm lazy at this point. Views, categories, views, recipes, index. So this sort function is going to order everything in the index page of recipes by the first word and ascending alphabetically. And so we have our button here, and let's just jump over to our route. This sort function is not going to require a method in our model. It's just a built-in function that we're going to call in our route. So we're going to go over to our recipes controller. And it's going to be a post, so HTTP post. There we go. And we are going to just post to the main recipe. Well, no, we can't do that. Alphabet ascending. Looks great. Public action result. We're going to call this route sort ascend, sort s. So we're going to open up a database context, database connection called recipe, called DB, but we're calling our recipe context method. And all we're going to do is we're going to return a view where we're going to return index, but what we're going to do is, I'll just do it this way, I'll do it the long way. We're going to say a list of recipe items called ordered recipe list, ordered list, I'll just call it that, equals database dot recipes going into our table, and we're just calling the built-in function OrderBy, and OrderBy automatically orders ascending. If you look up OrderBy, you'll see different options and different syntax for it. And then we call this random variable j, we do fat arrow j.name, and we're calling the specific property, which also is the table name. Name is the name of the table. So we're calling that, and we're saying sort this, OrderBy does it automatically ascending, and then we're calling the built-in function toList to push it into a list, and then we can pass that variable into our index. The shorthand way is to just put all of that straight into the view. We don't have any of that. So, really easy, built in. And so I guess next let's check out the SearchBy method, which the way we set it up in this project is by having its own page and controller, so we'll just do it that way. We'll call this the SearchBy controller, Down here in the view, we will do a new folder called SearchBy. And in our view, we're only going to have one folder. It's going to be our index. I mean, one file. It's going to be our index, one view. Good. And let's grab what we have in our index. SearchBy. So in this view, we how it works is we have a form that asks for a word to search all records in the database with, and that form grabs the word, and we're going to take it into our controller and put it through a function, and then we're going to display what that function spits back out. So let's just jump back over that way. First of all, let's just grab this. So this is going to be our SearchBy controller, and of course we're going to start out with our get. And right now we are just going to return view. And in our view, we are going to pass through a dictionary, which we will use in our post route, which we're going to write after this. So dictionary, string object, we'll call it model. Alright, onto our post method. This will be just going to do SearchBy. And we're going to call this search. So we're going to open our connection to our database by calling new recipe context. And then we're going to instantiate a dictionary, string object, and what we're going to do is create a bunch of lists in which we're going to push what we find. So our first list is going to be a list of category objects. We're going to call it found categories. And this, into our route, we're going to pass in our search query, whatever we grab from the form. So our found categories is going to be filled by, we're going to say database.categories. We're going into that categories table, and we're going to say where J, which is just a random placeholder, j.name, and we're going into the name column, and we call contains, which is a built-in method, and we pass in our search query, and then whatever we get there, we're going to say to list, and we're going to push it into our found categories. We're going to do the same for recipe, found recipes, database.recipes.where, and we say j fat arrow j.name.contains search query, and then we're going to do an OR statement, and we're also going to search the j.instructions.contains, because our recipe model contains a name property and a instruction property. And we're going to see if it contains our search query. And this built-in method returns everything that your search query is similar to. It's really cool. And then we're going to put it into a list and store it in found recipes, and then we're going to add all of this to our dictionary and pass our dictionary into our view. And we're also going to pass in our search query so that we can display it on our index page. We're going to say return view index, and we're passing through our model. And doing it like that, it's going to make all of our language calling models on our index view of SearchBy is going to make sense, since we're also passing the dictionary into our index, even though it's empty when we first get there. So looking back at our index view, it says categories with our search query keyword, and then for all of the category items in the names, at least in our list that we created, it displays them, it gives a link to them, and then it does the same with recipes. So it's pretty easy to do this, and it's a really cool search function. It does a lot, and you can put like partial words in, and it'll search partials, and it'll just turn up anything that's kind of similar. So that's that. You have it. That's the end of all my videos. Thanks for listening, and good luck, y'all.